Fire, fire, water, air, earth. After a long journey through the treacherous marshlands, the group has finally arrived at the secluded village nestled within the heart of the swamp. The dense, mist-filled swamps conceal both danger and hope as two groups of travelers set out on separate paths. Chime and Chamu work to win the trust of the reclusive swamp villagers, seeking their help to heal Trinket. Meanwhile, Li, Li Shen, and Masaru brave the dangerous terrain in search of an elusive healing herb. Unaware of lurking threats that await them, the swamp is living, breathing, its secrets hidden beneath the water and tangled roots. In this murky land, alliances will be tested. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Avatar Legends stream here on the Shadows of Nox channel. My name is John Blair. I am your GM or lore bender for this session 5 entitled The Price of Healing. I am here with my wonderful players who I will allow them to introduce themselves right now. Let's start with, how about Lottie? You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Lottie West. You can follow me on socials at Lottie West. I play this game, but I also play Being Villainous, where I'm Ermengarde Wise. I'm in the Power Rangers podcast as Cecily Adwell, the Blue Ranger, who is a little bit of a Ren Fair nerd. And I write LARPs, and if you ever want to learn about the LARPs that I write or play one of my games, you can follow my socials. Instagram or Blue Sky are where I post things the most. My LARP Whispering Pages is already completely filled up for Intercon Run, but we're going to do stuff in the future. Hawkins tickets will be going on sale soon, and I am so excited to get people out to the Wisconsin Dells to enjoy this 80s sci-fi horror. And today I am playing everyone's favorite swamp bender, at least most people's favorite swamp bender, Li, and her wonderful animal companion who is a possum chicken named Bow Bow. And I am so excited to get going.
I'm excited for you guys to navigate the swamp with Eugene. We'll see what kind of quips he's got up his sleeve for you guys. Up next, I'll have how about Clock? How about you go next?
Hi, everybody. My name is Joe, also known as Clockwork Tuba. You can find me on Twitch or YouTube under that name, or pretty much all the socials. I don't post much because I'm bad at life, but I do cozy streaming and big stompy robots and RPGs. That's basically the triangle that you would put to get into a pentagram to summon me. But tonight I am playing Li Shen, the Elder, who is the resident non-bender of the group, who is just a bitter old man who's just trying to get along.
That's true. Just trying to make it through day by day. You should be retired at this point, but you know, these kids just keep messing up.
3 days past retirement, not 3 days to retirement.
All right. Up next, how about Rezin?
Hey, I'm playing Chamu tonight. I also played Jolie and I think one other character for our other Tuesday game. It's there. It's on the edge of my mind. I reach for it.
Shadowrun?
Yes, thank you. Shadowrun. There we go. Yes, I play Jolie for our Shadowrun game, and over here I play Chamu for Avatar. You can find me on Blue Sky and over here on Twitch, where I occasionally randomly stream. Recently, it's just been this. So Chamu is our pillar of our group. He's the leader, or trying to be the leader of the group. So far, he's having mixed success. he didn't get a lot of time with Polly before they were like, you're a leader, Polly, vacation. And then we got swooped up in other things. Polly did not get vacation.
That
Spoiler.
is true. You were kind of thrust into this role. I will say I was taking a look at your character sheet today, and you have a section on there that gives you an opportunity to choose what kind of leader you want to be. It gives you a couple prompts of like, if you're in the character sheet, if you go to
Moves.
the move section, it gives you some like, you can choose 2 different ways that you want to lead, and then you can earn points when you do those things, and then you can spend those points when you're leading people to lead people in a specific way to give your other teammates specific boons. So take a second to read that if you'd like, while I have Kit do their introduction.
Hey everybody, I'm Kit. I'm here on channel for the other blah 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 blah. I can't speak either because it's been a very long day and work makes me sad. What I was trying to say is I am in the other game, being Villainous 102, here on Shadows of Nox. I've been in a number of the one-shots. On Lucas G Variety, I am occasionally on Fallout, playing B4/C70R, a name I continuously regret. But here, today, I play Sister Chime, our airbending icon, with just so much anxiety. She's fine. She's got anxiety. It's fine.
She does, but she was able to push through and get the leader of the village to help to agree to help Trinket in their healing process. But who knows? Maybe there might be more anxiety for her to overcome this episode.
There's always anxiety.
That's my
You ruined a perfectly good airbender. It's got anxiety.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Grim, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Grim. I am the GM for Being Villainous, as Kit mentioned. We're on hiatus right now, but I am in Power Ranger Centurion, which is every other Wednesday, as the Red Ranger. And I will be part of season 3 for the Power Rangers podcast as the Green Ranger when that is finally released to the internets. I've been in a lot of one-shots. I am also playing Fallout. I'm playing my Vault Boy Lucky. And today I am playing the Prodigy, Masaru, the resident firebender who figured out how to lightning bend as a kid. So be afraid. Although he is, as I've referred to him a couple of times, a pre-himbo, he's kind of dumb. He's very nice, but he's not quite at the big and beefy stage yet. Gotta wait a few more years for him to finish growing up.
Proto-himbo. He's the second stage of the evolution to himbo.
Yes, on the way to himboism.
He's like the Machoke.
Yeah, we need to either trade him back and forth for another group, or like find a special rock of himbo that will make the full evolution.
That'll make
See, this is how you get the himbo with anxiety. Trading him around. Gonna ruin his self-esteem.
No one can ruin Masaru's self-esteem. Are you kidding me?
Give me some time.
Ain't nothing gonna break his stride. Ain't nothing gonna throw him down.
If there is one thing that I believe in my heart that this group can do, it is push each other out of the realms of their possible chosen character arcs for the sake of chaos. All right, so with all the introductions out of the way, would anyone like to volunteer for our segment of Previously on Avatar, where you tell the viewers maybe a little bit of what happened last time?
So last time we had everyone's vignettes in the night, which involved things like Dora Lee soloing an Otterdile, was it?
Ottergator.
Ottergators.
Close.
We said Aladile for a while.
I said Otter Crocodile first, and then Grim made the superior animal hybrid name suggestion, which was Ottergator. So,
and
Gotta get her out of here.
Is it
Li
sea or
Shen
freshwater?
having a less heart to heart, more butting heads with the ghost of an avatar, which might have just been all in his head, and then all the various things that people did. We found Eugene, who was a member of the Swamp Thing, and then found out that Doralee, bless her heart, had managed to ADHD herself away from home for not 2 months, but for 2 years.
It is
So-
I reckon
true.
my hair did get a little bit longer. I just
So
thought
when
it
we
was
returned
because I
home,
like
it was
humidity.
not, hey, that friend of yours who went out to go get groceries, we have a hurt air bison that we need some help with. It's, by the way, the person you thought ran away from home, we got her back. Also, we got an air bison.
Yeah. Also, please heal our hair by.
There was Eugene, Waylon, and Bo.
Mo Bandy was the name of
Bandy.
the
Sorry, thank you.
yeah.
Was the leader of the Swamp Benders. Waylon said, "Hey, we need somebody to go talk to the elder. But while we're doing that, if some of you guys want to go and get some of the proper healing salves for Trinket, our air bison." So I believe that's Masaru, Doralee, and myself, along with Eugene, went off to do that. Since we didn't have time at the end of the episode to go into that scene, we instead switched over to Chime and Chime going to speak with the elder, and Chime having to, be the poor lost introvert without her, support extrovert, and invent and stood up for herself, and then managed to actually talk down the leader and, make some good points and get the help out we need. So basically, we have permission to dunk Trinket in the healing waters at the life tree. We just need to also get the herbs and various accoutrements to make to give Teslin some benefits. A Bayou bomb to slather over Trinket's wounds and get her all healed up.
Real
Yes.
quick, I just have to interject before I have an aneurysm. It's Sky Bison.
I know,
Am I
right?
saying air bison? Sorry.
Yeah.
Everyone's been saying air bison over and over, and I'm gonna have a moment.
Well, where is the sky? Or it's in the air. We're fine.
It's not the same.
It's one of
I'm
them.
from the Earth
Why
Kingdom.
Hell, guys.
You're telling me they don't have sky in the Earth Kingdom?
There's not a lot of sky over here. It's mostly trees.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
think
it's mostly
above the
trees.
trees?
I want you to look any of these swamp benders in the eyes and ask them what is above the trees, because you're going to get 17 different answers, and none of them are going to involve the words air or sky. One of them involves a turtle that's on its back that's staring at us all.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Isn't laugh just living in the underbelly of a giant turtle?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that pretty much sums it up. You guys are a little bit split up at the moment.
Nothing bad can happen from that, right?
No, of
Fine.
course not. Of course not. That being said, I would like to sort of pick up where we left off, and that is with our B team headed into the swamp to find some of the potentially lost or stolen oh man, wow, the word just left my brain. Supplies and things that Mo Bandy mentioned, some supplies missing from his shed of healing that he could use to make a Bayou bomb for our Sky Bison Trinket.
What a
For that swamp
concerning way to
healing.
phrase that.
Yeah, weird way to say, excuse me. So yeah, we'll pick up where we left off there. So I think where we left off was Eugene kind of doing his weird little zigzaggy run back into the swamp.
Yes, that we had joked about, and it's up to you whether it actually is true or not, that it doesn't actually do anything. He just does it.
I'll let you guys decide how you feel about that yourselves. All right. Well, I know you kingdom folk probably don't have much knowledge about running around the swamp out here, so you might want to follow me.
Don't worry, they got plenty of experience with me hanging around them. I know how to take care of the situation, but you can lead the way.
Now,
Oh,
quick question.
do you? All of a sudden, coming back as a bold adventurer, you remember the swamp just as you left it. I'm sure. We'll see about that. Now, first things first, he gave us a map. I'm pretty sure we have to go in, well, one of these here directions.
Pretty sure, huh? Can I see the map?
Yeah, sure. He's going to hand it over to you.
Excellent. Masaru has at least a little bit of training on how to read maps.
All right. In that case, let's come in on a roll here. How about you give me a
Probably the only thing I can think of that fits is rely on your skills and training.
Yeah, I would say that for sure. Focus.
Hey.
Oh yeah, I got a 10.
Masaru was paying attention in map class.
Masaru got taught how to read a map. Also, I get a really cool bonus for certain things on occasion.
Do you? What kind of bonus do you get?
Well, it doesn't help here, but every once in a while I get to do cool stuff like go, I'm really good at this one thing, so I'm going to ignore the fact that I have a a condition.
Gotcha. All right. In that case, I will tell you that based on your skills and training of being able to identify the map and kind of which direction you're going, you can sort of easily tell based on where you guys are standing in relation to the village, which direction to go in, which is towards the southwest.
Okay, so we got to go that way. And he points and starts walking.
Now, Eugene, is this taking us back into that fog that's going to play all Mary Hob with our brains?
Well, I mean, the fog might be around, but as long as you don't mess with the swamp's not going to mess with you. You're going to say that's right, and he's just going to kind of like shoot you a weird look. But I mean, you might want to be careful, considering your age and all that. I don't want you to get stuck out here. Some of this terrain can be awfully difficult to get around.
I'm going to keep walking according to the map.
Li Shen just gives him that level even stare, like not flinching, nothing, just stares him down.
All right. I would like each of our participants to roll me a D8. Okay.
Masaru and Li Shen are on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
In most cases, yes.
All right. As you guys follow the map, you notice Eugene is kind of like hopping up and around on different like tree vines and mangroves and things like that. The land is getting less solid and definitely a little more murky. And as you guys sort of go deeper into the swamp, I'm also going to say, Lottie, Dora, because you are, of course, of this land, you are you are also kind of dodging around, and you kind of like figure out the best ways to move around the swamp because it's kind of second nature to you guys. But the other two, you guys are kind of, it's a little hard to walk through. And then suddenly, one of you takes a step. I'm going to say Masaru. You might take a step. Maybe you're. How are you walking through this marsh? How are you going about getting through this sort of thick?
Well, he's
Mud and-
mostly like stepping on like upraised roots, like so if he sees like an upraised root, he'll step on, like he'll use that and like kind of jump to the next one. He's trying to avoid walking through the mud.
Sure.
If he gets
Are
to a point
you-
where he has to walk through mud, he's probably like breathing fire on it with the map held off to the side to make it less mud and more dry sand, which isn't working super well, let's be honest.
Lee is doing like a very specific kind of like walking gait that I think that would work really well in a swamp area where you kind of like swirl your leg out as you're walking so that it kind of drags, so it kind of agitates and scares away any smaller critters that would be in the top of the water. We did it when we were lifeguarding in like open lakes. So you're like kind of like swirling your legs as you walk a little bit. It like agitates the top of the water as you're walking through.
So
Okay.
I want to dovetail off of that real quick because I was thinking something similar and had an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think that because there are big sweeping steps as part of waterbending and the stances.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that like it's an instinctual thing for Dora Lee because again it's part A, she's from here, and B, it's part of the thing. But also in a similar but not exact, like doing bending steps but not being a bender is what Li Shen is doing. So he's falling into a similar gait. And it's something that people who have seen him fight, which I think is everyone here has, knows that like he incorporates bending maneuvers from the different nations into his fighting style. So like when he needs to be flowing like water, he starts walking like a waterbender type situation. So I think that he's also doing something similar to that.
Okay. I was more asking Masaru in general, since you're kind of a very quick kind of go-gettery sort of type of character that I'm kind of noticing. I'm just wondering if you're like, are you going full force quickly? Are you being sort of like hesitant about where you're stepping, or are you just kind of following the map? You see the direction and you're just going in that one way.
Oh, he's following the map, but he's turned it into a bit of a game where he's like jumping from route to route. So he's doing the whole floor is lava game.
All right.
So he's trying to stay on routes as often as possible and outside of the mud. If he has to step on the mud, he wants to be able to tell if it's deep or not by essentially setting it on fire so that it hardens. And if it instantly turns back into mud, that means it's deep and he wants to avoid that. So he's being somewhat smart about it. He's turned it into the floor is lava with a few things of like, oh yeah, my master told me to avoid super deep mud when I'm walking through mud.
Absolutely.
So he's having fun with this.
I will say, Eugene is going to notice every time you say that you maybe like blow fire on the mud to see if it'll harden and stuff. He's going to kind of look at that and just be like, what? You think some fancy bending tricks make you better than us?
No, I just don't know how to tell. I just don't know how to tell what's deep and what isn't. It's the only trick I know. Do you know another trick? I'd love to learn how to avoid deep mud. I mean, I don't want to lose my boots. And then he kind of like flashes one of the boots that he has. I got these from my mom for my last birthday, and I don't want to lose them because I haven't seen her in a while. And you know, it's kind of a It's kind of a thing.
Right. Don't want to get your fancy boots wet in the mud, huh?
No, I mean, they're covered in mud. I don't want to lose them. There's a difference.
All right. I'm going to say as you two are bickering, you how about you give me a I want you to roll for this, but maybe I should just
I mean, so my key is if a failed roll, if passing the roll and failing the roll isn't going to make much of a difference, then just do the thing.
That's a great idea. All right. I'm going to say as you guys are bickering, you take a step on some mud that you didn't happen to check whether or not it was soft or hard. And suddenly you try to pull your foot out and it's not coming out.
See, it's not coming out. This is like, see, this is what I wanted to avoid. Now my boot's stuck, and I don't want to lose it. And he's like starting to like try to cook the mud around it so he can loosen it and pull his boot out. See, you and your whole thing about kin and stuff. This was a gift from kin. I don't want to lose this.
Masaru,
What?
stop with the fire.
What?
Stop with the fire.
But I don't. Okay,
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay.
And then Li Shen just full on like braces himself on a tree, reaches both hands in to grab the boot and everything, and then goes, "You can't pull straight out because it's gonna pull you down. It's like quicksand." And he like moves the leg to the side and starts sliding it out of the mud.
Okay. Would you say you're pleading with Masaru to stay calm?
Sure. I think that goes with harmony, so absolutely. Because that's the one thing I can do. Don't let me, because I'm got my good eye covered with the damn eye patch. Which one's plead? Okay. That's a 12, full hit.
Great. All right. Yeah, so you guys sit there for a minute. You're slow, you're methodical about it, and you're able to have Masaru pull out his foot. And luckily his fancy kin boots are not one to be swallowed by the swamp. So that
Excellent. Well, that means I'm going to go ahead and clear the fatigue that I have because Masaru does calm down, but he does get to ask me a question that I have to answer honestly.
What was more important to Masaru at that moment? Not losing the boots or proving Eugene wrong?
Not losing the boots.
Okay.
all right. Great. Sounds good. As you guys continue into the swamp a little more, you've kind of lost the blocks of mud. There's not as much mud following you. The terrain gets a little more easy to walk through. There's not as much mud or water you need to kind of like slog through to get where you're going.
Okay, so it's getting drier, not like
it's getting a little drier where you're at now. The swamp, it kind of like ebbs and flows in a way. Some spots are drier, some spots are more wet. And let me look at this list here. Okay. So you guys kind of come into a section. You notice that are you guys noticing anything about the temperature? How does especially the people that aren't from here, it's hot. It's midday. You guys are in the middle of the swamp. There's a lot of moisture. How's everyone feeling about sort of the heat that they're experiencing right now?
I just want to state for the record, just because Dorley is used to this, but I'd like it stated that like her hair is just like slowly getting like bigger and bigger and like curlier and like more frizzy. Like it's like its own entity at
So
a certain
we're
point. It's
going
big
more
and
from
red.
Dora Lee to Dora Lay.
Yeah, it's getting real big. But she's used to like the heat and everything. I think that she probably has like a little fan or something in her pocket, like just a paper fan or some like leaves like thrown together bamboo style, and she's just like, like old Southern ladies at church.
Yeah, Masaru is a firebender, so this is nothing to him.
Li Shen is from the Earth Kingdom and wears heavy formal robes as he's and like and Under Armour. So he's having a bit of a rough time, and so I think that is going to be a point. Ooh, we can showcase something. There is going to be a point where he stops, looks around, realizes it is just the four of us. And Masaru knows, and Dorley, bless her heart, can't hold the information in her head, and Eugene is from the swamp, so it's not gonna be a thing that shows up. So he's gonna be old man ripped and take off his shirt and like basically do the whole thing where he ties everything around his waist to like to keep like ties the sleeves and everything around that, and then go shirtless. Which shows a body that isn't like as well toned as it used to be back in the day, but is covered in scars. But the big thing is, on the back of his neck is a white lotus tattoo, and then going down his shoulder to like almost like a half sleeve, and also going down his back are just falling lotus petals.
So he's got a straight up Yakuza tattoo of fucking lotus.
Yes.
Kind of badass.
Now here's the thing. Masaru would know about this. Has Masaru ever asked him about this?
No.
Okay.
Masaru knows that when it comes to the lotus, it's not a thing he asks questions about. It's a thing he gets told.
I don't think he would have brought this up. So then, okay. So yeah, basically you've seen it a couple times, Masaru, but yes, he absolutely like full on down the right side of his torso, of his back and shoulder. And I don't know if Dorley would have paid attention to this, but for those playing along at home, every time he rubs his shoulder isn't rubbing his shoulder in pain, it's touching the tattoo. Whenever he like has those moments with Avatar Kuruk and then rubs his shoulder absentmindedly, it's not because of the pain in his shoulder. But then yeah, he's doing that like whole just desperately trying to not die in the heat.
Okay. Does anyone have any reaction? Dora, do you have any reaction to Poli's tattoo?
I think she's gonna say, she might say that there's a whole lot of ink you got there. Is it itching or something? I know that sometimes you can get stung by some mosquitoes and it makes it worse or something like that. I don't really know. I don't got anything myself.
No, just memories. Sometimes the memories make it ache.
Well, that ain't something that's going to get better in this thick swamp air. I apologize. I love it, but most people don't.
Meanwhile, I think the Bao Bao has fully made a nest out of the giant frizz of hair.
Yeah, it's like her hair is just absolutely poof, and he's like, finally.
My home has returned.
Yes.
Eugene, Eugene, you ain't reading the map right now. Masaru,
Yes.
how close are we to the first stop?
1 second. Masaru's going to consult the map. It's that way, I think. Hold on. We were here. Give me a second. I got to reorient myself. Because,
and I'm also sure that it was it Wayland or Mo Bandy who gave us the map.
Mobandi is the one who gave you the map. Waylon was the head of the village that Chime and Chamu had to talk to.
I'm sure Mo's hastily scrawled map is very accurate and definitely gives like how many paces we should go between stops, because it's clearly what kind of person Mobandi is, right? Right?
Clearly.
The map is very crudely drawn. You notice that some of the sort of like areas of the map have like little doodles on them. Like back where you almost fell into the quicksand is like a little crude doodle of like someone's arm sticking out of the ground. And based on what you see here as you're staring at the map, this area, based on where you think you are in relation to everything, is marked with a crude little drawing of what looks like some sort of insect creature.
Oh, we're getting close, but there's apparently some kind of big hunting insect thingy.
Wait, let me take a look at that. And Eugene's gonna kind of swoop down and snap the map out of your hands. Oh, he's gonna kind of look at the map and then look up, and then out of the trees, you guys are gonna notice sort of it's not really a fog. It's kind of more like a weird dark cloud that seems to be coming towards you at full force. Would anyone like to give me an assess the situation?
Good.
I would.
I just took off my shirt as the death mosquitoes are showing up.
All right.
Okay. Okay, never mind. I don't. It doesn't benefit me here for my extraordinary skill. I was hoping it would.
You do have the opportunity to ask me a question.
I get the feeling I know what this is, but oh, and I got +1 ongoing to act on the answers. So who or what here is in the greatest danger?
I guess most of you. To answer that question, I guess I should ask, what's everyone, other than we got a pretty big description of how Poli is dressed. How is everyone else dressed currently?
So for Masaru, he's basically wearing like the closest thing to the Fire Nation school uniform from Last Airbender that they have for this era.
Sure.
But he's used to the heat, so he's not worried about the fact that he's wearing a couple of layers. I mean, he's a firebender, for crying out loud. So yeah. Also, these are bugs. I can burn them if those are in fact bugs.
They are in fact bugs. They're they're vampire flies. And they're coming towards you pretty quickly. I would say I'm going to ask Dora to say how she's dressed first, and then I'll tell you who is probably in the biggest danger.
So I just looked up some wonderful DeviantArt interpretation of female swamp bender wear. And so shout out to this creator, Kie, on DeviantArt, because they're inspiring me right now. I'm stealing their idea. It's like kind of like a leafy top with like various wrappings over the chest, no sleeves, arm things. It's all green, obviously. A skirt with like a little bit of like a leafy loincloth kind of situation, but it's still a skirt. It's got like double layers. And then she's got like a belt bag that has stuff in it, mostly for Bao Bao.
Did you change into this sort of all leaf green outfit at some point, or is this kind of what you were wearing the whole time on your adventure?
I think it's kind of what she was wearing most of the time. It's like a little bit like I think she might have switched out the top a little bit just because she was like, "Oh, I'm home," and I also have been wearing, clothes for 2 years. But
I mean, I'm sure at some point you
I changed. I bought things. It's
got your wardrobe. You
I
updated
did,
your
yeah,
wardrobe a little
definitely.
bit. You're not
But
wearing
I
2-year-old
definitely
leaves.
I feel like I'm a little bit leafier than I normally am.
Okay. In that
The
case,
leafiness.
I would say probably both Poli and Dora are probably in the biggest danger.
Oh, fun.
Cool.
Everybody get behind me. I can deal with these things.
Let's
And
see what
then-
you got.
He's going to basically jump in front of everybody and then just do like one of those sweeping kicks that has like the whole like flame arc. And then like switch that into like punch, punch, punch combo with a bunch of fire. I would like to intimidate the flies to make them go away.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Oh, that's a miss.
Oh no. Okay, so yeah,
Hold on. That's a 6. Couldn't somebody help with the team action?
Wait,
It's
also
true,
don't you get a
the
plus
help
1 to
action.
act on the?
Oh, I do get a +1 to act on my answer, so I have a 7.
Okay.
All right, let's see. For intimidate. Okay.
So they get to pick from the list.
Yep. They get to pick one from the list because I do. Thank you for reminding me about the +1 for my assess.
Ooh.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
That and to show off the guns.
As you firebend at the flies, the vampire flies, Eugene is gonna kind of yell out, "You're just gonna make him angrier!" And as you firebend, they do get a little bit more intense, and they do end up kind of going at you guys. I'm gonna have everybody.
But which of the options are they picking?
They're picking. They attack you, but off balance. Oh, I have to mark a condition. I can't
Yes.
mark a
Yep.
condition on this. Okay, hold on. All right. How about this? I'm gonna choose that you firebend at them, and they back down, but will keep watch. So, maybe you guys have to think of a different a way to kind of like slowly, methodically walk through this area.
Okay. Okay, so apparently these bugs aren't as afraid as regular bugs. That's weird, right? That's weird.
I mean, they haven't seen much people aside from the swamp folk. So everything's weird here. That's fine. We got this. Where's the next spot on the map?
Dora,
On the other
Dora, would you mind giving me a rely on your skills and training?
Full hit. I got an 11.
Awesome. I will say, you probably remember these bugs a little bit. You know, what they're capable of, what their possible, if they sting you, what kind of possible side effects they might have. But you also know that they don't like the mud. So if anyone is showing any bare skin, you know that it might be beneficial for you to put some mud there in order for them to like kind of not want to attack you anymore.
Okay. So I think what she's gonna do is slump herself down into the mud and pull Li Shen's arm. Be like, it's time to you gotta get muddy. You gotta cover yourself in mud. It is the only way to make this situation better.
Now, Dorothy, you know I think you're like Ken. I need you to explain with more than 3 words why it's time to get ourselves all slathered
They
up.
lack skin. They lack skin.
They like
You just gotta
skin.
you just gotta listen to me, okay? Listen, I know these things, and they are gonna come for every last bit of you that they can get at.
All right.
So you gotta make yourself unappealing.
How about you roll a plead for me?
Please do well, because I could get rid of some of this fatigue.
It's a
and I
harmony
need
roll.
too.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we
you
go.
can actually have to click on the name, not the little
Yeah.
word bubble.
Yeah,
If you click on the name, it'll roll for you.
Hit.
Hey, I'll get rid of 2 of those fatigue, and I will absolutely acquiesce.
On a 7 to 9, they need something more.
Oh.
So the GM gets to tell you what that person needs before they can actually act upon your plead.
Okay. I think maybe Dora, maybe you might have to just show them that if you're covered in mud, they're not gonna even pay you no mind.
Okay. Well, I'm going to carefully place Bao Bao on a low-hanging branch, because Bao Bao is covered in feather fur, and I don't know of which, honestly. And I am going to ceremoniously dunk myself into a vat of mud. The only thing that like happens is like you see her green eyes, like when she stands up, like they're blue. She's a waterbender, sorry. Her blue eyes just like, that's the only thing. Everything else is covered, and she walks right up to that swarm.
And yeah,
just, like,
they do not mess with you. They're just kind of flying around. They don't seem to be really interested in what you've got going on, as they're kind of still a little afraid of the flames, but also since you're right up on them, they could bite you, and they're definitely not.
yeah, I am doing a little dance to demonstrate that I'm kind of agitating them. Like I'm like, and nothing is happening. So I'm like, I'm telling you, this is for real. I know what I'm doing. I'm from these here are my stomping grounds.
Li Shen like stares for a good, like a bit longer than 10 seconds. That silence stretches out a bit, and then just sighs, undoes his sword belt, hands his sword to Masaru, and then just like face plants into the mud and starts rolling around in it.
Is it? Hey.
Yeah, Masaru's face is like uncovered, so he's like gonna like dab mud on his like cheeks and forehead and stuff, and on his neck. He's like I have exposed skin. I'm gonna cover myself in mud, but
Also,
Honestly, is a great treatment for your skin and your pores.
halfway through this, Polician stops, and his head turns. What is Eugene doing during this time?
Eugene is also covered in mud.
Okay.
And he's kind of leaning up against like a rock, and he's just kind of like sitting there with his arms crossed, and he's gonna kind of look at Dorley and be like, well, seems like you do still kind of remember how to survive out here. Too bad you were one of the last ones to notice. And then he's gonna kind of take a look at the map again, and he's gonna anyway, I'm pretty sure we got to go this way. If we're where we're at, I'm pretty sure this is the right way to go. And he's gonna start walking in the direction.
Yeah, Masaru's gonna be like, "Can I see the map?" He's gonna snatch it from him the way he got snatched. Is he pointing us in the right direction?
Yeah, he's you guys are going in the right direction for now.
Okay. And then he's gonna hand him the map back. It was just that whole like
Snatches get snatched.
All right.
So yeah, I'll basically I'm holding the sword now. I don't want to put it on like the mud covered clothing. Like he spends time like oiling the leather of the belt and everything like that to make sure like the sword is one of his prized possessions. He does not want it covered in mud.
Sure. That makes sense. Yeah, you guys are getting closer. It shouldn't be too much farther now. You guys look, and it seems like the flies aren't really following you anymore. As the terrain starts to get a little more wet, a little more watery versus a little less muddy. But what kind of happens is the sounds it starts to get a little darker as you guys continue. All of the weird swamp sounds, croaking, creaking, weird flutterings start to get a little bit more eerie sounding, I suppose, as you guys venture forward.
Sorry, we forgot one thing. Dorley gets to ask Li Shen a question he has to answer honestly.
it's true.
Oh, there you go. Dora, do you have a question for Polly?
She's like, listen, I don't know much about y'all's little organization or the people that y'all associate yourselves with, but I do get an inclination that you tend to be pretty good people, and that's why I associate myself with you all accordingly. Now, I was just wondering, why do you think that it's important to be hanging out with the likes of me and our airbender friend over here? What is called?
Airbender friend.
Oh well, I mean
Referring
like
to
over
Mr.
in.
Chime.
I mean like in.
Not
I mean like
Eugene.
in.
You mean in the general sense, not in the Eugene's over.
That's what I meant.
Sense.
Yeah. Exactly. Sorry.
Well, when danger arises, you look, and like he drops the full like swamp bender like kin thing. He wants to talk in his own words. When danger arises, you look for the people who run towards it, not away. Chime saw the spirits in danger and came to help. And you, and he picks up a glob of mud and puts it on her nose where it's been rubbing off. You saw a bunch of strangers who didn't know what was going on, but were trying to help, and immediately signed yourself up for it. You're good people too.
Everybody thinks that, but I respect your opinion. And she like tosses her hair, but it's all just mud, so it just like hits a tree. And like you just hear the plop of like nasty mud hitting a tree, and Bao Bao is like cautiously like hopping from like branch to branch behind them. Because Bao Bao
Alright.
doesn't actually want to get mud in his feather fur.
Feather fur.
Feather fur. That's now a coined term. So
Look, if we do this fast enough, it'll still be wet enough for you to waterbend it off of us.
no, that's
That's the important part.
that is the important part.
Look at your sheet real quick. If it'll load. Okay, no. All right. Well, that was a sweet little moment you guys shared, huh?
Hooray!
As you guys continue, you'll notice, like I said, it starts to get a little weird. The sounds of the swamp are getting a little odd. Master, did you take the map back, or did you give it back to Eugene?
Oh, I gave it back to him after snatching it away from him.
Okay. He's gonna kind of look at the map, and he's gonna start kind of like looking left and looking right and kind of spinning around. And hey, you kingdom folk, you looked like you knew what you were doing with this thing. And he's gonna kind of hand it back to you.
Why does he keep referring to me as kingdom folk? He knows I'm from the Fire Nation, right? And like he's
He
gonna like
doesn't.
take the map and start looking at the. He's gonna take the map and start looking at it again to kind of get oriented.
As you look at the map, it's kind of weird. It almost looks like it's warping. Would anyone like to assess the situation?
I did it last time. I'm gonna let somebody else do it this time.
Sure, I'll be looking over your shoulder. This is gonna go poorly. Hey, never mind. I did a thing.
All right.
Granddad powers, activate.
You can ask me a question. I will hit the thing so that you can see what the questions are. Give me a second.
There you go. I went ahead and did it.
There you go. Go ahead. Great. I keep closing people's character sheets after I open them, and then I can't do it. All right. So any one of these questions here, if you have a...
What are we thinking? I'm thinking either what should I be on the lookout for, or what's the best way out through? Folks?
I think I like the what should I be on the lookout for personally,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because that seems more like a Li Shen fucking answer anyway.
True.
Yeah.
So yeah, what should I be on the lookout for?
Sure. As you kind of look at the map, and you look up, you can sort of see vague, almost like ghostly outlines of things that are kind of the only way I can describe them is like stilt walkers, very like tall, sort of spirit looking creatures that are kind of hard to see at first, but once you see them, they're
It's like that
pretty
one picture
visible.
of the forest with the zombies in it, and as soon as you see one zombie, suddenly you see the entire horde.
Yeah, and so they're kind of like walking around the swamp, and the longer you're around them, it feels like it's hard to sort of you're kind of dizzy as you're like around these things.
I will point this out to people, and then ask a question I've been wanting to ask anyway. So he turns and goes, "Nah, Dorley, when you were out there wandering, were you mainly in the swamp for those 2 years? I know it didn't seem like time was flying while you're having fun, but..."
Actually,
basically-
I was.
Sorry, I want the
Oh
answer.
no, I was
just,
saying.
just go in the background stuff of he's trying to keep people focused on things
yeah.
and away from
Yeah.
being distracted by the things. But yes,
Yeah.
I do want the answer.
Oh yeah. Well, she'll be like, "Well, I was hanging out with all different kinds of people, learning all kinds of different things, and customs and various curiosities from non-swamp related folks. She's like, now she's got Bao Bao has decided to just sit on her shoulder even though it's muddy, and he looks slightly perturbed.
Slightly.
I'm gonna say a thing, and this doesn't actually have to happen in character, but we all know that Dorley is ADHD incarnate. So, while I'm getting everyone moving and like keep on following along with the map, I ask Dorley, the police and says, "Go ahead and tell me about some of the people you met," and we can just be the montage of like.
Oh yeah.
As we're
We're just
walking through of Dorley's nonstop, like I just want like the constant nonstop chatter to help kind of focus us.
She has like probably like 40 people, and she's like, and I told them that if I came back, I would get like their pie from them. And then there's this guy who told me tea, and then her name was Big Bed. I don't remember, but
Okay.
Yes, Li Shen is basically going to try to like act like a sheepdog and like
he's
just keep
babbling.
like
Okay.
Get the distraction running, get the background white noise of Dorley going,
Sure.
and then just keep everyone moving in the right direction.
Okay. In that case, I think you're kind of trying to guide and comfort the group through the situation. Is that your take for this? Does anybody else have any ideas of how to get through this, or are you just kind of like following what Li Shen is doing?
I don't think that Dorley has quite picked up that she's being used as a distraction, so she is not going to assist in any way. She is going to be just babbling and like petting Bao Bao. Just babbling.
Masaru is definitely doing the whole like nod along, like, oh, like this is interesting. She's traveled places he hasn't been to, so he's like, oh, really? Okay,
Yeah. Do you have any specific story that you want to tell about your adventures outside of the swamp, Dora, or do you have? Are you just gonna kind of let the story go for it? I just want to give you an opportunity if you want to kind of.
One
something.
quick story I'll give. She was meandering out somewhere. I was meandering out up in, it looked like some foothills of some mountains, and it was getting real chilly, and I didn't really quite pack for that kind of situation. Counting I was only supposed to be out of town for a little bit of time, and I was looking for some clothes, and I saw this lady, and she had all of these like beautiful cloaks, and I was like, how can I get me one of those? And she's like, it's gonna be this amount of money, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to tell you I'm a little short on that. So
I'd like to think as you're telling this story, it's kind of doing that thing where it kind of jump cuts to different parts of you guys walking, and it's just a different section of the story each time. Great. Yeah, but you guys end up kind of getting out of that Stiltwalker area of the swamp pretty fast and pretty quickly, thanks to Polly kind of keeping you guys grounded with Dora's ramblings. And at the edge, at the what looks like on the map, a big circle is sort of drawn around an X that has that. This is probably where you guys are going to be. And as you look, it looks, the swamp kind of turns into more of a sort of marshy wetland sort of area. And there's kind of what looks like a little cave in front of you that kind of heads into the earth. That seems to be where you guys are headed.
Is this the place?
Wait. Yeah, I think it is. This is definitely where we're going to be able to find the heartstring moss for sure.
Okay.
Now, what are we looking for? What are we going to put our peepers on?
Well, basically what we're looking for is this stuff. It's called heartstring moss. It basically grows on the other side of these weird glowy rock things that hang out that are in that cave in there. Only problem is he's gonna kind of look, and as you guys look towards the cave, you're gonna notice a little bit of something moving through the water, and he's gonna look at Dora and he's gonna say, there's an otter gator den.
Oh, there's a lot of water. Water and fire don't mix. I could lightning into the water. That might do some stuff.
That's a terrible idea. Do not do that.
What you don't want me to shoot lightning into? But it goes through the water and it'll like hit a bunch of them. And okay, fine.
But
So-
we're all wet.
Oh, you're right. I'm not used to being wet. That makes sense.
All right. We're kind of coming up on our midway point here, so I'm gonna say that we maybe take our break now, and then when we come back, we will take a quick aside to our other two members very briefly, or we'll see how long it takes. Our other two members that are still in the village. So until then, we will see you in a couple minutes. All right, welcome back from break. We're going to take the time, because I feel bad for having them sit through most of the episodes so far. We're going to take the time to kind of check in on Sister Chime and Chamu as they're hanging out at the village center.
I think I was comforting Chime.
That's where we left off. That's presumably been resolved more or less.
Are we not still in that weird pause moment of I'm giving you
There.
like a gentle hug / shoulder pat?
The pat.
Yeah, the shoulder pat.
Breathe with me, because holy hell, airbenders hyperventilating might make me hyperventilate because there's not enough air in the room.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're sucking it all in.
Sucking up all the air.
Deep breath. Not that deep. Not that deep. That's terrible.
Do you guys have anything you want to do? Anywhere you want to go? Do you want to ask our resident old man, Waylon, anything
You guys also have the prisoner
about what to
here.
do next?
Oh yeah, we got the prisoner. I forgot about that.
Ex-prisoner.
I like how you
She's
still
been
refer
freed.
to her as a prisoner, even though she's
Even though we freed her.
freed her. Yeah. Now you're just referring to her as a prisoner because y'all are dicks.
We freed
Or
her
'cause I can't
while,
remember the
while in
name.
the middle of
I
the
can't
nightmare
remember the
swamp.
name.
She can't really go where she wants to at the moment. It's Lyra, is her name.
I mean, she's our companion for the moment. Let's see. What can we make her do?
That's not the goal here.
What?
All right.
I'm kidding.
Chime's first priority would be actually to probably start getting Trinket moving towards where they need to be, considering they've got an
Yep.
injury that's so helping them make their way to this special healing place.
And probably helping Chime and or anyone else in the village that might need help. Probably gonna ask the resident old guy if there's anything that they can do to help around the village. Since you're not doing anything other than moving Trinket.
Well, I mean, do you know who you have to talk to, or where you guys have to go to where you need to take Trinket? Do you have? I'm asking essentially. Do you have any questions about what to do next with Trinket for Waylon?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What's the next step then? Like, our friends are out gathering goods to make this bomb. What's the next step
Mayu
after
bomb.
that? Other than getting Trinket there.
Well, you're gonna have to talk to the resident healers of the village. That would be Bailey Joe and Dolly Joe. They're they're going to be the ones. They have this very interesting technique that's able to help heal large critters like your sky bison over there. You're going to have to talk to them about what they're going to want you to do with what did you say their name was? Trinket?
Yep, Trinket.
You can probably find them over by one of them huts over by the skiffs.
Okay. And then is there anything else the village might need before we leave this evening? If we leave this evening.
He doesn't really seem like there doesn't really seem to like much else for you guys to really do at this point in time. I mean, as far as like helping the village out,
yeah,
there's not really anything that any of the villagers really need from you at this moment.
Cool.
Fair enough.
We'll go talk to the JoJos.
No.
They both have Joe at the end.
They do
Nope, we're
both
not.
have Joe at the end of their name.
Yeah,
We're not going
JoJo's.
there.
Anyways, yeah, we'll go talk to.
All right.
Go talk to them. As
As you guys sort of approach where Waylon told you these two are at, you can kind of overhear a little bit of bickering. One of them sounds like a female voice, and the other one sounds more like a male voice. And the female voice is going, "Well, I don't really care what Waylon thinks. These people are outsiders, and if I'm the healer, doesn't mean I'm gonna heal them." I know, but Dolly, listen, you can't get Waylon mad at us. I mean, what if he has us like exiled or something? It still don't matter to me. I don't. What? Just because these people come out of nowhere thinking that we're just going to help them? You know how much resources we got in this here village? Barely squat, and they're just going to have us use all of our healing magic, our waterbender healing powers to help these people we don't even know.
Hello, the people you don't know.
Oh,
Hi.
hello there.
I was coming to ask if there was anything we can do to assist to make this a little easier on you all. We do have a few friends out collecting the needed materials for the bomb. Or potion, whatever it is.
No, I like the Bayou. I like the idea of calling it
Like
the
the
Bayou Bomb. Yeah, Bayou Bomb. I kind of
We'll
like
say
that.
bomb then. I didn't say potion. Ignore that. But
A what? A bomb?
yeah, you know, like a topical, a cream.
Of course. There goes Mo Bandy again, trying to get in my way of trying to take his place as the healer of the village with his medicines and his plants and all of his fancy things like that. Goes again trying to get in my way of being the village healer. My mic stand just fell apart.
That's why you're suddenly getting quieter every once in a while.
Just all of a sudden the mic's like,
Yeah, just moving away.
When even the mic stand is tired of the southern avatar names.
Oh, the Southern Avatar names.
You know what you did.
I did.
we'd be more than willing to assist you guys in any way we can so that we're not being a burden here.
Oh, will you now? And
Yes, absolutely.
she's gonna kind of
This is our friend Chime's friend, Trinket, that we are healing. So, and we do
Trinket.
need Trinket in order to get around.
It's
It's an air bison.
It's a
one of
it's a
them
Guy.
air bites.
Purpose is trying to get him an aneurysm.
one of them cloud cows.
Cloud cows.
Oh my god!
I hate all of you. I want you to know that. Gonna give me a
Sometimes-
goddamn aneurysm on screen.
Well, I mean, what's in it for me if I help you? And she's gonna kind of like look you guys up and down.
Well,
And
then we help you with what you might need. That's what's in it.
we
for
don't
you.
need nothing from you outsiders.
But it sounds like you're mighty low on supplies. Perhaps we could facilitate a trade of needs. We need our sky bison, and you need supplies so that we're not taking from your supplies the little that you have.
The atmospheric yak.
Throw a rock at you through the internet. I don't know how, but I'm gonna.
She's gonna kind of like look the two of you up and down. And she's gonna kind of look at you guys and say, well, listen, my talents do not come cheap around here. So
I did not expect cheap.
even if Waylon thinks he can tell us what to do, doesn't mean that unless I'm fitting to benefit from it, doesn't mean that I'm gonna just do it. You gotta maybe, and she's gonna look over at Chime, and Chime, you have a
Mhm.
you have a little necklace on that you wear. You wear a necklace.
I have the Megatama that is the from my group as my basically my sign of station.
She's gonna kind of look at your Magatama and kind of. She's gonna take her fingers and kind of like swirl them at that. Now that looks like it might have some spiritual value. I'd be willing to maybe help you and your cloud cow out there. If you're willing to
Sky
trade.
Sky Bison. And by that I
was
mean
about to say it's a
she may
sky
very
bison.
quietly Sky Bison.
Chime snaps and starts suffocating people.
Look, I have maintained since day one that airbenders are the scariest ones to fight when they've got no holds on what they're willing to do. Anyways, Chime will take a moment to look down, kind of forgetting that she's even wearing the necklace. She's had it for quite a while. It's like quick contemplative moment, like it, but what can't really, it's just sure it's important, but it's just an object. Trinket's worth more than that.
Can you obtain another if we give it to them? Do you
I'm
lose
sure they're
your
they,
your position within
Uh,
the group if you lose this?
airbenders aren't typically all that worried about physical signs of things. I'm sure I would get some chiding, but that's fine.
Can I tell what this thing is made out of? The Chime's like little pendant thing.
I feel
their
like
station thing.
that's more of a question for Chime than it is for
Chime.
me.
Chime, what does this look like? What am I looking at here? Is it stone, wood?
Um, let me double check real quick.
Ariac fur.
Now you're just looking at pissing Kid off, aren't you?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw. Y'all are gonna give me an aneurysm on screen. It's gonna be just awful. Considering where the temple actually, it's probably made out of polished stone. Would be my guess.
Oh, perfect.
Considering it's up in the mountains and all that, it's probably some.
Some sort of polished jade or something.
Yeah, that seems the most fitting, all things considered.
Can I commit the image of this object to memory
Sure.
in an attempt to like earthbend it later?
He's doing
Oh.
Sister Chime a solid. Look at that.
I don't know if it'll work for you the same way, but I might be able to make you another. Not that it will hold the same value or anything like that, but
that's not really necessary. That it'll be fine.
or I could make the one that looks similar.
Are we saying this like in front of the person when we're having this
Like
conversation?
step back and I'm
Okay.
talking to you real
Yeah.
quick about this.
But they're not saying it with southern accents, so therefore the people don't understand what's
Oh, they
happening.
can't understand it.
Yeah.
With southern accent. Y'all are
can't
talking, but
Understand your accent.
that's unnecessary. Well,
Are you sure?
yeah, it's just a necklace. It'll be fine.
Okay. This is your trinket,
Okay.
literally and figuratively. Your trinket, in both senses of the word.
And then I suppose we'll go back over. It's like, if that's what you want, that's fine.
Okay. You're gonna give Dolly Joe your very sacred burden of your tradition that you've been carrying with you since you've started this whole spiritual journey of yours with the Order of the Moth Tiger.
Don't worry, the spiritual burden's inside me all along.
Okay, if you're willing to give up your pendant, then I'm going to ask you to move your balance towards freedom, please. All right.
I have moved it.
It has moved.
Well,
Shouldn't be.
I had a feeling this might have been something really important to you, and you were willing to let it go to save your friend out there, and that means a lot. So I will take this kind gesture, and I will allow you to use my special bending abilities to help your sky bison. Sorry, I called it a cloud cow.
That is greatly appreciated.
However, she might have shown her commitment, but you have not.
And what can I do for you?
Well, what do you think, Billy Joe? How should we have him prove his loyalty to us?
He'd look real good without his shirt on. Anyway.
Well, I don't know. We could have him do one of the swamp kinfolk traditions. That's a great idea. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you to choose between A or B.
Good thing I have coins just sitting here.
Yo.
That's A.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. Billy Joe, I'm gonna have you go and go head down over to our local cook friend and have him make one of the great gulps. All right. Sounds good. And Billy Joe is gonna kind of like scutter out of the.
You know what a great gulp is?
You will find out.
I can't help it, but in my head, I keep hearing Billy Joe is not my lover.
Billy Joe.
Not my lover.
All right, and we will find out what the great gulp is probably next time. And we're gonna, just for the sake of time, we're gonna head back over to our group outside of the Otter Gator Den.
The Otter Gator Den.
That's right. Y'all want to roll me some assess the situations?
That is exactly what I wanted to do. I mentioned that during the break. I'm going to go ahead and make my roll now. Woohoo! I got an 8.
All right. I mean, you guys are all willing to assess the situation if you'd like. It's kind of doesn't have to be just one person.
No, let me jump in and do that.
Sure.
A full
Ooh.
hit.
Yeah, everybody gets a full hit except Masaru. He's just like taking a quick look, and then he starts thinking like,
It's a cave. No, Masaru. Well, yes, Masaru, you're right, but also no, Masaru.
Okay.
All right. So my question is, what here can I use to get the otter gators to leave the cave without attacking us? Now, granted, that other caveat is if I can't get them to do it without attacking us, I want to at least figure out how I can get them to leave the cave.
I think you could probably have them leave the cave if you, I don't know, created some sort of distraction or maybe had something to use as bait, perhaps. You guys have anything that might be, I don't know.
Not Papa.
You guys have anything that
We might have a
able to be
possum
used
chicken, but
as,
I doubt the possum chicken's owner wants us to use the possum chicken as
We
bait.
cannot use the
But
possum chicken.
But it's an otter gator's favorite treat.
What's the lying dude that's with us?
Huh?
The lying dude that's with us?
Eugene? What about him?
Eugene. We got Eugene. We can just use
Oh, yeah, you have Eugene. You have a possum chicken.
I always have, like I said earlier, I did say it that I have treats in my pocket for Bow Bow.
Okay, I don't know if possum chicken treats really
I don't think so.
really smell or look the same as a fresh possum chicken out in the open.
Oh, I have a good one. Masaru has an idea.
All right.
Oh.
Before we get to Masaru's idea, does anyone do the other two assess the situation? Since you guys got full hits, you get to ask 2 questions.
My big ones would probably be who or what is in the greatest danger. And considering the fact that how excited Masaru is for his idea, it's probably going to be Masaru. But it's also what is the best way out / through.
Best way out / through. I will say, in that case, the gators, so far from what you can tell from where you're standing, they're kind of just hanging around by the front. These are otter gators, of course, so they're aggressive if provoked, but if you're able to, it's possible if you're, I don't think it's out of the question, you may be able to sneak around them potentially.
Okay. Let's do Dorley's questions, then I have a question. I know Masaru has an idea. My idea might trump that, but we'll figure it out.
Do you want to have Dora do her 2 questions and then you ask your second question? Okay.
Oh, no, my first question was who or what is in the greatest danger?
Oh, right. Okay. Who or what is in the greatest danger? Probably all of you if you mess with the crocodiles or the alligators.
Specific Bao.
Yeah, maybe Bao Bao. I don't know.
Bao Bao is a good baby.
I would say you all are in a pretty even amount of danger.
Okay.
Precarious. It's precarious.
The one who's probably the least in danger might be Dora, only because she is from here and she's also a waterbender, so she can potentially use that to her advantage.
Yeah. Okay. Since my questions are going to be related to as soon as I open my mouth, sorry. Since I am from around here and I have experienced them, even though I am visibly scared, is there anything in the immediate vicinity that I could use to distract these otter gators? That
your questions have to be related to the assess the situation question.
Right. What here can I use to distract the?
Yeah. What can I use?
Oh, you're right. What can you use to distract the alligators? Your possum chicken.
No.
Possum chicken is the obvious immediate answer, but that is not the only answer. I guarantee it.
You could potentially use your water bending to perhaps make a distraction. You could maybe talk to Eugene to ask him what he thinks, or maybe if he's willing to be the bait for you, I suppose.
All right.
Do those answer your questions, or do you?
I think so.
want more?
I think so.
You have one more, I think.
I know. I do. Can I see if there's a bigger, the biggest of the otter gators? Who or what is the biggest threat? So is there can I see all of them, or is there just
based on your knowledge of how otter gators den, you know that typically they have a few smaller ones that are kind of on the outside of the perimeter of the den, but you do know that inside are at least two larger ones, and at least one that is definitely considered an alpha.
Okay.
Okay. So, question about one of my moves.
Sure.
So this may apply, this may just invalidate the move. It's called As Long as I'm Breathing. When you try to intimidate someone in order to protect the vulnerable, the weak, roll with harmony instead of passion. Would me trying to intimidate these otter gators count for that, or do my fellow adventurers here not count as the vulnerable or the weak?
Let me see here. Let me read your move again.
Yep.
When you try to intimidate someone in order to protect the vulnerability. Yes, I will say it's not like they're aggressive to you in this moment.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I don't think you could use that now. I think you would be able to use that more in a situation where one of them might be alerted to your presence and might
that is
try and come near you.
Masaru, what was your idea?
Oh, Eugene, right? You're fast, right? You're good at maneuvering around here. You're like the
Yeah,
best.
pretty fast. Yeah, I'm pretty good at
Okay.
it. Oh.
All right. So, do you think that if we got them to chase you, you could get them to chase you, and you could get up a tree before they get there? Well, but keep them distracted long enough for us to be able to get inside, get the moss, and come back out. Like, I feel like you're the one who's skilled enough to be able to do this without actually like getting hurt. So,
Let me get this straight. You want me to roll up on a bunch of otter gators and make them want to come after me?
well, yeah, you're fast enough to be able to get away from them, right? You're like the only one here who's skilled enough. By the way, even though I'm bad at it, I want to roll to trick him.
Okay, sure.
I'm getting a +1 because I'm acting on my assess, which means I'm rolling with a 0. Let's see what happens, because my creativity is normally a -1. Woo, 10! So on a hit, they fall for it. They do what I want for the moment. On a 10 plus, I get to pick 2. I'm gonna choose they act foolishly. So you get to tell me what opportunity that he gives us by falling for this trick. And number 2, he overcommits, so he is deceived for some time because Masaru's been showing him up the entire trip.
That's true. That's true.
Now he's like, "You're the one we got to rely on. You're the one who can do this."
Well, I'm not going to let you city slickers show me up in my own domain. I may not have them same water abilities that Dora's got over there, but I'm a pretty good swimmer. And he's going to kind of...
You can climb trees too, right? That's the best way to get away from them.
Yeah, I'm the best. I can climb trees better than anybody in the swamp. And he's gonna kind of run
Poor Joe.
forward.
I'm looking at Joe over there, and he's like trying to
run
stay
forward
calm.
to the towards the gators.
I want to before he runs off.
Okay.
Li Shen was gonna say something too, right?
Don't go in the water. You can distract them onto the land. They're slower on the land.
I will say between where you guys are at and where the den is, it's kind of like think of like the cave. There's maybe some like harder dirt or mud or sand in front of it, and then in front of you guys is pretty much kind of like a moat almost of like swamp water.
Gotcha. Then in that case, Li Shen will turn to Masaru and Dorley and just full combat, full leader mode again. Just be like, go get what we need from the herbs. And then he's going to follow after Eugene. Because Eugene is going to very soon become the vulnerable and or the weak. So we're going to do this now.
All right. Eugene is going to kind of like splash into the water and just kind of like wave his arms around and go, hey, you otter gators, over here. And they're going to kind of like look up from their sort of alligator laziness and see him. And a few of the ones that are kind of like hanging out in front of the den are going to kind of start slowly swimming up to Eugene.
Okay. I don't know if you want me to do this first or if you want them to do this first, but my plan is for Li Shen to like be like just again doing the same glare he does to everyone, but just be glaring down the otter gators on the shore of like just exhibiting the I am the apex predator in this situation. Go the hell away.
Okay, so he's gonna get their attention, and then he's gonna kind of go back, but they are kind of out of the way for now. So do the other two want to head in and go and get
Yeah,
into the...
yeah, no, I'm ready to go in. As soon as they've cleared the way, Masaru's like, run, 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 run. Doesn't even wait. Doesn't even think that there's more otter gators in the cave.
Go full force. Okay.
Pretty much.
Dora, what are you doing?
I am. I want to like say that I'm doing something with like to like make some sort of water shield. Can I do that?
Water shield? I mean, I will say, like, if you guys are running through the water, it is going to be like loud and may distract some of the otter gators that are going towards him, and maybe they might want to come towards you if you're going to make a bunch of noise.
You could like move the water out of the way so we're stepping on muddy land instead of stepping in water.
Can I do that? That's a great idea.
Sure, yeah.
My brain does not think in water bending all the time.
Yeah, you can attempt that for sure. I'm gonna say this isn't something you're kind of like trying to part the sea a little bit here, so I'm gonna say this might be a little bit more difficult for you than just your casual water bending. So I'm gonna have you roll I
mean, she's trained to waterbend, so I mean, this is probably rely on your skills and training.
Sure. But it is like, I mean, it's not like just it's a pretty like sizable length of space you guys need to go. It's not just like and you don't know how deep the water is, so I would say I would like Dora to roll with passion for a press your luck.
Full hit.
All right.
Oh my gosh, I've been really rolling great. Knock on wood. Dora is doing great.
All right, for sure. You part this muddy water. You even part a bit of the mud too, and it's actually a little bit more dry underneath all of it. So you have a pretty solid track to get yourselves towards the opening of the den for sure. All right,
Looks like I made ourselves a path.
There you go. As you guys make your way into the den, you'll notice there is one pretty large otter gator sort of in the center of this den. And there's a few ones that are bigger, but they're smaller than the very large one, and they seem to be like huddled around some eggs of theirs, but they don't really seem to be too preoccupied with you just yet. Because of Dolly's hit there, they don't really seem to notice you as you pull up on them. But you do notice inside the cave there are a bunch of sort of glowy rocks around the perimeter of the cave, and on the other side, one side seems to be glowing, and the side that is closer to the wall has this like really sort of tealy looking moss on them. And Dora, you can probably tell that this is the stuff you're looking for.
Well, it looks like we've gotten to what we've been a hankering for. Do we want to scoop some up?
I'm going to start. If she's saying this is what we're looking for, Masaru's going to start grabbing.
Okay. Can I have you guys roll creativity?
Any particular reason?
I'm seeing if you're going to be able to trick these otter gators into noticing you're here or not.
Okay, so we're trying to stay hidden. Okay. hey, we're still acting on my assess because, trying to figure out the best way to be able to deal with this. So I got a 10.
And I got a 10 too.
Okay. In that case, you guys are rolling very well.
Yeah.
The otter gators are deceived for some time. They don't notice that you're there. And they act foolishly by sleeping.
So we managed to snag the stuff, and then we're just gonna, as soon as I have like 5 or 6 of them, because he doesn't know how many they need, but he also doesn't want to gather too many. Once he has like 5 or 6 like long sections, he's like, all right, I got what we need. Let's go.
All right. Dora, I will say, because you did get a full hit without the +1 advantage, I will say you notice that these gators, not only are there these rocks with the moss on them that you're trying to collect, but there also seem to be a bunch of like crates that are sort of like almost half eaten and kind of have what look like village supplies and other things that might have been taken out of Mobandy's shack.
Shit.
Some things that he was talking about that someone or something had been
Can I
getting into his.
wrangle any of it?
Sure. Because you guys rolled so well, yeah, I'm gonna say that you're able to
Wrangle.
pick up a few extra things on your way out. And yeah, you kind of make out like gangbusters a little bit. Here's the problem though. Now that your hands are full of stuff, you have to figure out how to get through the water again.
Oh,
But you
if
can't
she's grabbing it,
water-
I can carry it.
Oh, okay. You want to carry?
Masaru can totally carry it. Like, nothing's stopping Masaru from doing all the carrying because she's the one making the path.
Put those proto-himbo muscles to use.
All right. As you guys sort of make your way back towards the other side of the moat, we're gonna sort of go over towards Poli and Eugene, and Eugene is gonna be climbing up a tree and yelling at Poli. Can't you do something about those things? They're gonna get me. The gators have picked up speed a little bit, and they're on their way towards you.
Alrighty. So yeah, I literally like stone face doesn't even say anything. Just as the otter gators start coming out of the water, stares them down, and then they just has them turn around and go back into the water. Like no, just
Okay,
just
like
don't.
just
Makes
with
herself real big, draws the
You got
sword,
some-
and all like, giant mud monster with big metal things. Scary.
using some conqueror's hockey. All right. Do you want to roll that harmony?
He already
I'm
did.
sure
He got an
it is.
11.
Yeah, I
Oh,
got
did
11.
you? Oh, I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
I rolled that first just to see how I would roleplay that, because if this failed, then there would have been a whole other situation. Yeah, full hit.
All right. Yeah, sure. They see you and they don't want any part of you, so they will. They're gonna kind of back off, and Eugene is gonna come back down from the tree. See, I knew all along, you kingdom folk. I knew y'all were good people. And kind of pat him on the back.
Again, I think Li Shen has hit his word count for the day. He's not saying anything. He just slowly turns to stare at Eugene.
Yeah, he's like, you fell for the most obvious trick. What the hell?
Well, on account of I'm so brave, obviously I was able to make them otter gators. Obviously, I wasn't scared of them or nothing, because who'd be scared of an otter gator? And yeah, so you guys have all your stuff.
So I'm gonna roll to see if I can do the funny thing. I have an idea.
Okay, what's your idea?
Never mind. I was gonna pull out the map and then like look up and realize there was a shortcut that we went the long way essentially, but that was a 3. So that map is Greek to me. I do not quite understand.
Yeah, no, it is written exactly the way Masaru's brain would interpret it properly. Which means
your
it looks like a bunch of
ADHD
nothing.
matched with his ADHD, and mine's off in the corner, crying.
I will say, okay, because I'm gonna say because you tried to read the map and see if you could find a shortcut. You lead the group through a section of the swamp, and you stop for a minute. You kind of go up a steep sort of like hill, and you all kind of stop. And as you're looking at the map, and suddenly underneath you, the ground is moving.
Ground is moving as in we are standing on the back of a giant animal, or ground is moving in the sense of earthquake?
You might have to assess the situation for that.
Hey, I got a hit.
Yes, you are on the back of an animal. You are on the back. Dora, do you want to see if you can identify what this is?
Yeah, I will assess as well.
Poor Masaru, he's like, I'm
That was
losing.
my first miss of the day.
Oh.
I'm distracted. I've been.
It's on the tip of your tongue. You think you know what this thing is, but you're not too sure.
Is it a turtle frog? I bet it's a turtle frog.
It is a turtle frog. It's a giant snapping turtle frog.
Oh,
You're on
no,
the back of it.
If it's moving in the right direction, essentially, Li Shen just kind of like motions.
It's moving because you're on top of it.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of moving like you kind of ran up on it, and now you're on the back of it. And now it's like, what is on the back of me?
This thing's gonna roll us. Let's go.
Yeah, please. My hands are kind of full.
I'll take some of the supplies off of Masaru, but yes, we'll slide down the other side and just in full seriousness, Li Shen like does a soft little bow and says, "My apologies, friend. Please carry on your day," and then moves on.
It seems to. Can you roll a harmony for me?
Yeah, absolutely. I can roll harmony.
Did you just get that 7? All right.
He did.
The turtle frog is going to look at you. The snapping turtle frog is going to look at you and kind of like as if it understands what you're saying to it, because this is an old creature. It's going to look at you and just kind of sigh and turn away.
Old person to old person, we get it. We get it. I'm sorry, we get it.
All right. Great. Do you want to continue leading the way, or do you want someone else?
Very much. Li Shen takes the supplies out of Masaru's hands, shoves the map into Masaru's hands, and is like, just let's go, get us home.
All right. I'm going to say that Masaru, you're going to be able to read the map and get them back to safety. Or get them back to the village. As you guys kind of make your way back through the swamp, we're going to cut back to Chime and Chamu. And Chamu, you've been seated in the middle of this in the middle of the sort of like meeting area of the village. They've set up like a table for you, and you're sitting in a chair. And this one character comes out. He's got on a hat that looks like a chef hat, but it's made out of leaves. And he's gonna kind of place a little like tree stump plate in front of you and pull off this leaf lid on it. And in front of you are 3 delicacies of the swamp. Those being swamp worm jelly, fermented cattail sap, and pickled marsh mushrooms. The Great Gulp is sort of a rite of passage with these people. It's just something they do to sort of haze coming of age folk and potentially outsiders. And in order to show respect for the swamp tribe's way of life, you must consume these 3 dishes without making any sort of
No regurgitations.
No gagging.
It's basically like swamp fear factor.
Oh my god. Great. Thanks.
And this reminds me of that episode of the DuckTales remake where they were like, "This is a spice off."
Were
This
you
reminds
inspired
me
by
of the,
Dracula?
Which, if you
reminds
haven't
me-
seen it, I highly
Is-
recommend it. Even though
Is the
Disney
chef's
is the
name
devil.
Joe Rogan?
all I can think of is Andrew Zimmer, and he's eating that half of a duck egg that's actually like a half embryo.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm imagining. So I'm going to stack these things to the best of my ability into a 1-biter
Okay. All right.
and down the hatch.
Down the hatch. I would like for you to give me a push your luck, please.
All right. That sounds appropriate for this. Let me find it here. Push my luck. Oh, I'll push it. We'll push it real good. Push it real
Hey.
good.
Okay.
Turns out it's delicious.
Dun, 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 dun. I started
So
with the
now we
honey
gotta
on the
figure
bottom.
out-
That's why.
Which one of us is such a bad cook in the White Lotus
Hmm.
that Shamu can down this in 1 bite and be fine?
It's no longer Masaru.
No, Masaru makes good tea.
Yeah.
And he makes decent porridge. Don't expect him to make anything that's not breakfast.
Yeah.
I vote it's Masaru's master, the one we had to leave behind back in the village.
Mm.
Like
Not sad
part of
about him leaving.
part of all of us being like super okay to leave behind is like you're no longer on cook duty. And
Hey,
you're no longer in the rotation.
Couldn't we just get a waterbender to hit? No, he needs to recover.
Yeah, just,
He just
we're
needs to
fine.
stay here and feel better.
Yeah, 3 to 6 months minimum.
Yeah, it's the only way. The only
It's the
way.
only way.
Yeah.
We will move on without you.
Congratulations, you passed the trial. You did it despite how disgusting these things were. Proud of you.
Yeah. Yeah. He shows
Great.
them
Yeah,
up a little.
they are. Yeah, they are. Everyone is kind of like at first, as you were standing there, like getting ready for it, everyone was kind of yelling at you and like, you know, kind of taunting you a little
Yelling.
bit. And then as soon as you just like swallow them all in one gulp, everyone's just kind of like shocked and silent. And then they like,
big gulp.
yeah. And then they start cheering for you. Maybe you even have some of the villagers kind of come up and like lift your chair up into the air.
Hey.
And I think that's a great place for us to end today's session. I want to thank the players for being here. Just so everyone knows, if you are a avid watcher of our stream, we will not be streaming the 24th of December, which would be our next scheduled stream date, because it's Christmas Eve and I will be with family, and so we're not going to be streaming that day. So our next time
The 7th.
all together will be the 7th of January. So can't wait to see you guys. Thanks for being here. Make sure you follow the channel, join the Discord, do all of the fun call to action things, and we will see you next time.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
There was something.
Does anyone have anything to say?
If you are celebrating in the holidays, make sure you stay safe, be with loved ones, and for those of you out there who don't have family that completely understand you or treat you right, guess what? Too bad, you're part of ours now. I'm now your dad. Congratulations, you owe me a Father's Day gift eventually. But
Eventually.
Is officially dad.
you are safe. I am proud of you, and you will make it through.
I would
He's the
second
dad.
that you, but he's
It's
dad.
because he does. This is
over dad.
Clockwork's older like dad character
Yeah.
Tuesday. So
Every Tuesday is me being some beleaguered dad character on the stream, whether it's Shadowrun or Avatar. I'm typecasting myself. And to the point where I was playing Marvel Rivals, and Teslin was joking at me that when I was doing bad with a character and switched to an older dad character, suddenly I was doing better on my stream.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I know what we can do.
Oh, the questions.
We need to do our group
we
questions, you
have
guys.
questions.
Oh,
That would be
right.
nice.
Also, stick around coming next Tuesday for Shadowrun. More Shadowrun? What? Also, Power Rangers later in the week?
Yep. My questions, no one shifted their center, so we're fine.
You're done.
I didn't do anything. Done.
You overcame something big. You overcame that big
Did I?
gulp.
I overcame a big gulp. I don't know if
I
that
don't know.
qualifies.
I don't think that's quite like a dangerous threat or not.
Did I overcome a...
personally dangerous, but only to your gut.
It'll come back to haunt me later.
We would all have to be
It's like
traveling with him the next day as that worked through his gut. That'd be dangerous to all of us.
There's also whether or not you ended the session at your center.
Which I did.
Oh, if everyone ended their session at their center, which I'm
by the
pretty
way,
sure all of you
I-
did except for Chime.
Okay,
True.
because I missed earlier a chance to shift people if I needed to. So if you needed to be shifted to your center, I would have done that to Dorley or Masaru if they needed it.
No, I'm at center, so I'm good.
Okay.
So everyone can mark that if they have that.
I get nothing.
Does anyone feel like they stopped a dangerous threat or solved a community problem?
Not yet.
I guess the community problem, which
Kind
was
of.
We got the
Dangerous
supplies, but we don't
threat
have them
as
back
in
yet.
Otter Gator.
Say that again.
Dangerous threat is an otter gator. And the evil mosquitoes. I also I'll solve that.
Sure. I mean, you get a point for one of those for sure.
We worked in tandem for those mosquitoes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's true.
And I believe that when we get the supplies back next session, that will help for that as well. But we'll have them back, but we have somewhat the supplies.
Yes. Did anybody learn anything challenging or complicated or exciting about the world?
Nope. However, I get a point of growth that puts me up to 4, which means I get another advancement.
Yay!
I'm only getting the 1.
I mean, swap benders' delicacies are gross
I think
and easily overcomable if you stack them and eat them in one bite.
I don't
Just
think that's
saying.
correct for most people. I don't think
Chime,
that's how
I
that
will
works.
go back to you for a second, though. You have, I was looking at your sheet, and you have some extra questions.
What?
at the end of this session, at the end of each session, answer these. After you've asked your standard growth questions, did you uphold a responsibility? If yes, shift balance towards roll and clear a condition, or did you break a prohibition? If yes, shift balance towards freedom. And those things are kind of described next to you.
Nothing involving my particular traditions come up, so I've been basically skipping them because.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you thought that maybe you relinquishing your pendant would kind of fall into that, but if not, that's fine.
Well, it's my responsibility is to protect humanity from natural disasters and dark spirits, search for hidden histories and artifacts, and guard nature from threats and destruction. And then my prohibitions are: I can't refuse an earnest request for help, I can't start a fight, and I can never use my role for gain or profit. And I haven't broke those prohibitions or really done specific stuff involving those responsibilities, so I did.
Okay.
I'm sure they will come up, but at this particular session, not really.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other thing is air nomads aren't really people who worry about possessions too much.
True.
It has.
Yes, I understand. I know that this is something that this is an item that was made like is just it's in their sheet, so I figured I'd like maybe bring it up and like see how they deal with that thing. I'm just
they're definitely gonna feel bad about it for a while. They were 100% lying to Chime.
All right,
So
Dora
fully intends to make you a replica.
All right, Dora, did you express vulnerability by admitting you were wrong or that you should have listened to someone you ignored?
No.
Dora Lee will never answer yes to that question.
Chime, did you help a companion find a significant success with their issues or lead the group in finding a significant collective success?
No, not really. I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, we kind of tag teamed the JoJos.
The JoJos.
The JoJos.
Yeah.
And I ate a gross thing, and Chime relinquished a treasured item.
Masaru, did you express gratitude to a companion for their presence, support, or teaching?
I did not do that.
All right.
Yeah, the only one I got out of my options is being at center.
And Chime, did you accomplish a feat worthy of your burden and tradition? No.
Not really, nah.
Okay.
Welcome to the early versions of an Avatar campaign where all of us are stuck in our ways and not yet growing as individuals.
Yeah, but that is true, and yet somehow we are racking up growth still.
I have
literally got none.
Once.
You have a growth. You got a growth.
Oh,
But you got an advancement, yeah.
An advancement, yeah.
Yeah, I got no growth this session.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we've done our questions. I almost forgot to do that. I'm so sorry.
Dun, dun, dun.
And
I'm so excited about Christmas.
well, I wanted to end it on the note of Chamu swallowing all of this stuff. And so I got excited.
Way to go, uglies. That's a Dracula reference.
All right. Now for real this time, we will see you in the new year.
Help it.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.